So this is our section A on short questions. So first question is a tourist will require euros when paying for items while traveling in. So we need to identify a country which use euros as currency, and we know that Germany use the currency of the euro since 2002. So we have Germany as the correct response. So we go to the next part, which says all of the following except dash are above the line marketing techniques. So we've got exhibitions, videos, pamphlets, and brochures. So the correct answer that we have is exhibitions. So we have A. A dish is a valuable tool for frequent flyers. We've got smartphone, biometric scanner, travel agent, GDS, and the correct response that we have is a smartphone. Then we go on to the next one question, which is number 4. When in Malawi, tourists may want to visit so we need the tourist attraction that we have in Malawi according to our responses that we have. So you see that we have got the Luendo National Park, which is D. Number 5, uh, a South African budget airline where the price of a ticket is only for a seat on the airplane and the passengers have to pay an additional amount in order to take check-in luggage on the plane. So according to our responses are given, we have D, where we have got the fly survey. Go to number 6, which reads, a heritage that occasionally offers train trips on the Port Elizabeth region. According to what we have, you'd see that the response that we have is Apple Express, which is our C. Then we move on to this next question, number 7. The Minister of Tourism is, we know that we don't have the current Minister of Tourism that according to the responses that we have. But we know that Patricia de Lille is the correct response according to the recent Minister of Tourism that we have in South Africa. So we have the current Minister of Tourism being Patricia de Lille. So we move on to number 8. Translux is an example of a bus company that offers transport for locals and visitors on scheduled routes. So we have C is the correct response. The number 9 research conducted by SA Tourism 2011 indicated that one of the main reasons why most South Africans have not had the opportunity to travel in their country was so we check which is the most appropriate according to the responses that we have, and we see that it's I do not have the time to travel. So the time is the correct response that we have, which is C. Then number 10, this insurance option covers the person renting the vehicle in their personal capacity during the period of the rental for death benefit, medical expenses, and support required in the event of an accident. So according to the response that we have is we have got A as the correct response. Number 11, examples of global distribution systems. So according to the responses that we have, according to number 11, we have B as the correct response, whereby we have got the Galileo and WorldSpan. So we have B as the correct response. So from there, we are supposed to move on to the next question that we have. So moving on to the next question, which is going to be our question 12, the preferred method of payment when renting a vehicle. We have got debit card, EFT, cash, or credit card. But we have D as the correct response, which is the credit card. Number 13, this sector is not part of the tourism industry. Accommodation, infrastructure, transport, travel organizer. So the correct response that we have is infrastructure. People who work in the tourism industry must be aware that the foreign tourists in the photograph below must be aware that the foreign tourists in the photograph below. Then we are supposed to finish the sentence. So the most appropriate according to the responses that we have is are not allowed to eat pork. They don't eat pork. So number 15, tours offered by tour operators that depart regularly on specific days and specific times, regardless of passenger demand, are known as they are known as scheduled tours, which is our B. The number 15, as SunPass is a popular tourist route that connects. So according to responses that we have, I would say that it connects KwaZulu-Natal and Lesotho. So we have A. Then move on number 17. The slogan of this train is getting South Africa to work. So according to responses that we have got D, the Metro Rail. Then we move on to the next one, which is 18. A permit is needed to modify protected structures older than 60 years. So FB. The Fish River Canyon attracts many tourists to this country. You'd see that it attracts to Namibia. Number 20, a cultural festival held in the Eastern Cape that draws large number of domestic tourists. So number 20, we have our correct response is C, National Arts Festival. That is in the Eastern Cape. So we go to the second part, which is 1.2. We have to choose a term from column B that means the description in column A. So the first description that we have is that located in the baggage claim area of an airport. So 1.2.1. 1.2.1, you see that the correct response that we have is the carousel. We have D as the correct response. The proportion of the sales of a particular tourism product that is controlled by one company. According to responses, we have got further responses that we have there. I would see that this is E, the market share. Then we go to 1.2.3, located below the passenger cabin. Located below the passenger cabin, again, we try to see. We have the cargo hold. So F is the correct response. An organized way of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information is the market research. So 1.2.4, we are saying market research, which is indicated by our A. Then number 5, the place in the airport terminal that marks the point where the land side ends and the air side begins. It is the security control points. We have got B. So this is what we have according to this part. We'll move on to the next part that we have. So on the next part, we have to choose correct words from those given in brackets, right? Only the words next to the question number. So first sentence reads: a flight from Johannesburg, South Africa to Cairo, Egypt is known as. So we have it's known as transcontinental. Transcontinental, which is we are given as transcontinental is a correct response. Then on 2, the words dish describe the food that is suitable to be eaten by Jews. So we have the kosher. A flight from Cape Town to Johannesburg is known as a it's obviously this is a short haul. Then Hindus are not permitted to include dairy products in their diets. So we have got beef or dairy. But obviously we know that the correct response is beef. An airport that is customs and immigration facilities, additional security, and longer runways is an international airport. And then we'll move on to the next part where we have to choose the correct term that we are given in the sentence that are given below. The person who creates a new business in the face of risk and uncertainty. So 1.4.1 is an entrepreneur. We have an entrepreneur at this point. So we are saying entrepreneur is the correct response. Then move on to the next part. On the next part, it reads, we try to check in terms of the next part that we have. So on the next part, it says a getaway that provides road access between two countries. A getaway that provides road access between two countries. So on 1.4.2, we have got the border posts is the correct response. So we are saying on that part, we have the border posts. And moving on to the next one. The study of the history of life on Earth is based on fossils. So we have got the paleontology, which is paleontology, which are given here as a paleontology. So this is exactly as we are having indicated in our other section, whereby we are saying it's paleontology. And we move on to the next one. On the next one, it reads, a requirement for traveling on the Gautrain. So check according to the responses that we have, and we see that we have got a gold card is the one that is required. So we have gold card. Then lastly, an area of the sea in which there are many small islands is called an archipelago. So we have this one is our correct response. So moving on to the last part. On the last part, we have to give one word for the following sentences. The first one is the company that owns and manages 9 of South African main airports is AXA. Then 1.5.2 countries that do not have access to the sea. Obviously, these countries are landlocked. Move on to the next one. The area in an airplane used for storing food, snacks, and beverages is the galley. In above the line marketing tool designed to capture the attention of motorists and pedestrians is the billboard. The southern country tourists visit to view the highest mountain in Africa. Country is Tanzania. That's where we've got the highest mountain in Africa. And this is the last part that we have in terms of our short questions of section A, having a total of 40 marks. So thank you for listening, and let's meet again in the next video.